Every time scientists think they've cracked the code of Mars, the planet pushes back with something stranger. Hidden heat signatures, strange shapes that seem almost too perfect, and signals coming from deep beneath the surface are forcing experts to rethink what they know. What if this time? Let's explore. The UFO-like object that flew past Perseverance. In 2021, viewers reviewing footage from NASA's Perseverance rover noticed a small, fast-moving object briefly passing through the background of a camera image. The object appeared in only a few frames before disappearing. NASA explained that the most likely causes were a dust particle, debris close to the camera lens, or an imaging artifact created by motion and lighting conditions. Objects passing very near the camera can appear to move rapidly and follow smooth paths due to perspective effects. Because the rover's cameras operate continuously and capture large amounts of data, brief visual anomalies can occasionally appear. Engineers classified the object as an unidentified image artifact rather than a physical object in the Martian sky. No evidence suggests it was anything beyond a normal camera-related effect. The eerie whistling sounds detected by the rover. In 2021, NASA's Perseverance rover recorded the first audio captured directly on the surface of Mars, using its onboard microphones. The sounds included wind moving across the rover and subtle vibrations caused by airflow interacting with its structure. Scientists analyzed the recordings to better understand how sound travels through Mars's thin atmosphere, which transmits higher frequencies differently than Earth's air. The tones and fluctuations heard in the audio were consistent with wind effects, dust movement, and normal interactions between the environment and the rover's equipment. While the recordings sounded unfamiliar to listeners on Earth, researchers confirmed they were natural atmospheric and mechanical effects rather than unexplained phenomena. The audio provided valuable insight into Martian weather and marked a major milestone in planetary exploration. Do you think hearing Mars makes the planet feel more real than seeing photos ever could? Comment and chat with me. The mysterious doorway carved into rock. In 2022, an image captured by NASA's Curiosity rover showed a small rectangular-shaped opening in a rock face along a Martian ridge. The feature quickly gained attention online because its straight edges made it resemble a doorway at first glance. NASA explained that the opening was only about 1 foot tall and was formed by natural geological processes. Scientists noted that fractures can develop clean, angular shapes when layers of rock crack, shift, or erode at different rates. Similar formations are commonly seen in rocky environments on Earth. While the shape appears striking, there is no evidence that it was carved or constructed. The image is considered a clear example of how lighting, perspective, and erosion on an unfamiliar landscape can create shapes that resemble human-made structures. It highlights how easily the mind interprets natural features as intentional designs when viewed out of context. The face on Mars that refused to disappear. Back in 1976, when Viking 1 orbited Mars, it captured an image that sparked worldwide fascination. A massive landform in the region known as Cydonia appeared to resemble a human face. When NASA released the photo, many people began speculating about its origin, with some wondering whether it could hint at past activity on Mars. NASA explained that the formation was likely a natural feature, shaped by lighting and shadows that can trick the human brain into seeing familiar patterns. Later missions rephotographed the area using higher resolution cameras, and the formation was still visible. The clearer images showed a more eroded and less face-like shape, consistent with natural geological processes. Most geologists classify the feature as a natural mesa formed by erosion. However, some researchers and enthusiasts have argued that the formation appears unusually symmetrical and have proposed alternative interpretations. These ideas are not supported by mainstream science, but the so-called face on Mars remains one of the most well-known examples of how early images fueled curiosity and debate about the red planet. It marked a moment when Mars captured the public imagination as more than just a distant, rocky world. The flickering light on Mars that no one can explain. In 2019, an unusually bright flash appeared in one of the images captured by NASA's Curiosity rover. The brief burst of light stood out against the Martian landscape, leading some viewers to initially suspect a camera glitch. However, Similar flashes appeared in other images taken at different times. NASA scientists explained that these flashes were most likely caused by cosmic rays striking the rover's camera sensor, or by light reflecting off small particles or surfaces close to the camera. Such effects are common in space photography and can appear sudden and dramatic in still images. While some online discussions speculated about alternative explanations, no evidence supported those ideas. NASA officially classified the flashes as imaging artifacts rather than physical light sources on Mars. The images serve as a reminder of how unfamiliar environments and camera limitations can sometimes create striking visuals that seem mysterious at first glance. The bone-like structure in rover images. In 2014, an image captured by NASA's Curiosity rover gained attention after showing a light-colored rock fragment resting on the Martian surface. Because of its elongated shape, some viewers thought it resembled a bone at first glance. NASA quickly explained that the object was a naturally eroded rock, shaped by wind and sand over long periods of time. Scientists noted that erosion on Mars can produce elongated and smooth forms that may resemble familiar objects when viewed out of context. There is no evidence that the feature is biological or fossilized in origin. The image remains part of NASA's public archive and is often cited as an example of how pareidolia and unfamiliar landscapes can cause natural formations to appear artificial or biological. The perfectly spherical rock that shouldn't be there. In 2022, NASA's Perseverance rover photographed a small, rounded rock in Mars's Jezero crater that stood out from the surrounding jagged terrain. About the size of a golf ball, the stone appeared smooth and nearly spherical, making it visually striking against the rough landscape. NASA scientists identified the object as a concretion, a type of rock that forms naturally when minerals accumulate around a central nucleus over long periods of time. Similar spherical concretions are found on Earth and have been observed on Mars by previous missions. Their smooth appearance can result from erosion and mineral composition rather than any artificial process. While the rock's shape drew public attention, researchers consider it a natural geological feature. The image highlights how Mars's unique environmental conditions can produce formations that look unusual but are well explained by known geological processes. The Martian Stonehenge Formation. In 2012, NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter captured images of a circular arrangement of boulders on a flat section of the Martian surface. From above, the rocks appeared to form a ring, which drew attention because of its symmetry. Scientists explained that such patterns can form naturally through geological processes such as erosion, impact debris distribution, or ancient volcanic activity. Similar circular arrangements are found on Earth and are well understood as the result of natural forces rather than construction. While the formation looks visually striking, there is no evidence that the rocks were deliberately placed or shaped. Researchers consider it a natural feature that illustrates how familiar geometric patterns can emerge through planetary geology. The Martian skull rock that sparked debate. In 2014, NASA's Curiosity rover captured an image of a rock on the Martian surface that appeared to resemble a skull. The photo quickly spread online, with many people claiming they could make out features like eye sockets and a jawline. NASA explained that the image was a clear example of pareidolia, the human brain's tendency to recognize familiar shapes in random patterns. Scientists noted that Mars is filled with oddly shaped rocks formed by wind erosion, which can sometimes look artificial or familiar. While some observers pointed out that the rock appeared smoother than nearby formations, there is no evidence suggesting it is anything other than a naturally eroded stone. Mars's thin atmosphere allows certain rock formations to remain relatively unchanged for long periods, which can make unusual shapes seem more striking. No scientific findings support the idea that the object is biological in origin, but the image remains a well-known example of how easily the mind can find meaning in unfamiliar landscapes. The glass tubes on the Martian surface. High-resolution orbital images of Mars have revealed long linear surface features in certain regions, some of which appear tube-like when viewed from above. These features were first identified in the early 2000s using data from missions such as Mars Global Surveyor. Scientists explain that many of these formations are natural geological features, including lava tubes formed by ancient volcanic activity, as well as surface patterns created by carbon dioxide gas escaping beneath seasonal ice. NASA classifies spider-like patterns near the poles as areniform terrain, which is caused by gas erosion rather than hollow structures. While some online commentators have suggested artificial explanations, there is no evidence supporting those claims. The apparent straight lines and smooth curves can be explained by volcanic flows, erosion, lighting conditions, and image resolution. Variations in brightness are also well understood effects of surface texture, dust, and sunlight angle. All available data indicate these features are natural formations, and they are studied as part of Mars's geological history rather than as signs of artificial structures. Unexplained seismic activity underground. In 2019, NASA's InSight lander recorded seismic activity on Mars, confirming that the planet experiences what scientists call Marsquakes. These seismic events originate from below the surface and provide the first direct evidence of ongoing geological processes on Mars. While scientists once expected Mars to be mostly geologically inactive, many of the detected Marsquakes were traced to a region near ancient volcanic features marked by deep fractures. Researchers believe these quakes are likely caused by the cooling and contraction of the planet's interior, movement along faults, or residual volcanic processes. Although not every seismic signal can be precisely traced to a single surface feature, the data fit within established geological models. The findings have reshaped scientific understanding of Mars, showing that while it is far less active than Earth, it is not a completely dormant planet. The strange pattern of Phobos shadows. Mars has two small moons, Phobos and Deimos. Phobos, the larger of the two, follows a slowly decaying orbit and is expected to break apart or impact Mars in the distant future. One of the most striking phenomena associated with Phobos is the rapid eclipse it creates when passing in front of the Sun, casting a fast-moving shadow across the Martian surface. Mars rovers have recorded these transits multiple times to study orbital mechanics and test instruments. Any brief signal fluctuations detected during these events are understood to be related to normal instrument responses, changes in lighting, or environmental conditions rather than physical energy emissions. Phobos has been extensively studied, and its properties are consistent with a rubble pile body similar to a captured asteroid. While early hypotheses in the mid-20th century speculated about unusual internal structures due to its low density, modern data from multiple missions do not support those ideas. Today, Phobos is studied as a natural moon whose behavior is well explained by established planetary science. Mysterious methane plumes that shouldn't exist. In 2013, NASA's Curiosity rover detected a temporary increase in methane levels in the Martian atmosphere. Methane is of interest because, on Earth, it can be produced by both biological activity and geological processes. On Mars, scientists consider geological sources to be the most likely explanation. The detected spike was significantly higher than the usual background level and faded within days. Over time, Curiosity observed additional seasonal variations in methane, while orbiting spacecraft sometimes failed to detect the gas at the same time. Researchers believe this discrepancy is due to differences in measurement methods, atmospheric circulation, and how methane disperses near the surface. One leading explanation is that methane is being released intermittently from underground reservoirs through fractures in the crust, possibly triggered by temperature changes or chemical reactions in the rock. While the exact source and behavior of the methane are still being studied, current evidence supports natural geological processes rather than biological activity. The strange magnetic anomalies beneath the surface. From the Martian surface, nothing seems unusual, but orbiters have detected strong, localized magnetic fields locked into parts of the planet's crust. Unlike Earth, Mars no longer has a global magnetic field, having lost its planetary shield billions of years ago. Data from the Mars Global Surveyor revealed that some crustal regions are magnetized dozens of times more strongly than expected, forming distinct magnetic anomalies. These regions preserve a record of Mars's ancient magnetic field, created when molten rock cooled while the planet still had an active core. Interestingly, some of the strongest magnetic patches overlap with areas that also show evidence of ancient flowing water, suggesting Mars once had a thicker atmosphere and a more geologically active interior. While a few speculative ideas have been proposed, NASA attributes these magnetic signatures to remnants of Mars's early dynamo. Scientists continue to study the detailed structure of these fields to better understand the planet's early history and internal evolution. The radio signal burst that came from Mars's direction. In 2019, researchers with the Breakthrough Listen project detected a narrowband radio signal while observing the region of sky where Mars happened to be located at the time. Narrowband signals are of interest because they can stand out from natural cosmic noise, prompting careful analysis. After months of review, scientists determined the signal was not coming from Mars or deep space. Instead, it was traced to radio frequency interference originating from Earth, likely caused by human technology temporarily reflecting or leaking into the telescope's field of view. Such interference can sometimes appear to align with planets due to observation timing and telescope positioning. Researchers emphasized that the signal was fully consistent with known sources of terrestrial interference and did not represent an unexplained or extraterrestrial transmission. The case highlighted the challenges of filtering out human-made signals during sensitive radio astronomy searches. The heat signature that shouldn't exist. In 2018, the European Space Agency's Mars Express orbiter detected a strong radar reflection beneath the south polar ice cap of Mars. The signal, spanning several kilometers, stood out because similar reflections on Earth are often associated with liquid water beneath ice. However, scientists noted that temperatures in this region are far too cold for liquid water to exist under normal conditions. Researchers proposed alternative explanations, including layers of salty ice, frozen brines, or unusual combinations of minerals and ice that can strongly reflect radar signals without requiring liquid water or internal heat. Subsequent analysis suggested that these reflections are most likely caused by complex ice chemistry rather than geothermal activity. While the findings are still studied to better understand Mars's polar environment, current evidence does not indicate active heat sources or liquid water beneath the ice. The strange object that looked like metal. In 2021, NASA's Perseverance rover captured an image of a small object protruding from the Martian surface that stood out because of its reflective appearance. The object initially drew attention online due to how it caught the light against the surrounding dust. NASA scientists explained that the feature was most likely a naturally shaped rock fragment or a piece of eroded material whose surface reflected sunlight at a particular angle. Similar reflective rocks have been observed in other locations on Mars and are known to occur due to mineral composition and weathering processes. While some online speculation suggested alternative explanations, there is no evidence that the object is metallic debris or artificial in origin. Researchers consider it a natural geological feature, and its appearance highlights how lighting and perspective on Mars can sometimes make ordinary rocks seem unusual. The underground cavities that might be hollow. In 2007, orbiting spacecraft captured images of dark circular pits scattered across parts of the Martian surface near volcanic regions. While they initially resembled impact craters, further analysis showed they were vertical openings rather than collision sites. Thermal measurements revealed that these pits remain warmer at night than the surrounding terrain, suggesting they connect to subsurface voids such as caves or lava tubes. Scientists believe these features likely formed when underground lava channels collapsed after volcanic activity ceased. NASA has identified these pits as important exploration targets because underground cavities could shield future missions and potential microbial life from radiation and extreme surface conditions. Although their full depth is difficult to measure from orbit, current evidence supports the interpretation that they are natural geological formations created by Mars's volcanic history. The strange moving dunes of Mars. In 2016, scientists analyzing orbital images observed that dunes in some regions of Mars were shifting more rapidly than earlier models had predicted. Although Mars has a much thinner atmosphere than Earth, researchers have learned that even relatively light winds can move sand under the planet's low gravity. Over several years, these dunes showed measurable changes, prompting scientists to refine their understanding of Martian wind behavior. Studies suggest that seasonal winds, temperature-driven pressure changes, and the unique properties of Martian sand grains can account for the movement, Rather than revealing unknown forces, the observations helped improve climate and surface models of Mars, showing that the planet's atmosphere is more dynamic than once assumed. The ancient river delta. That shouldn't exist. When NASA's Perseverance rover landed in Jezero crater, it examined layered sedimentary rocks, curved channels, and branching formations that indicate the presence of an ancient river delta. These features show that liquid water once flowed through the region over an extended period of time. Scientists believe this activity occurred billions of years ago, when Mars had a thicker atmosphere and a warmer climate capable of supporting surface water. The scale of the delta suggests sustained water flow, possibly fed by rivers, lakes, or groundwater systems during Mars's early history. Researchers continue to study whether this water was released gradually or during episodic flooding events, as well as how long habitable conditions may have lasted. The delta provides strong evidence that early Mars was once more geologically and environmentally active than it is today. All right, guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. Bye.